So here's something a little bit different. This just came in from a user asking me, "Hey, what are 30 things that we don't know about you?" So here we go. Uh, Number one, and I have this written down, so that's why I'm gonna keep glancing off to the side. Number one, I've never been kissed at midnight on New Year's Eve. Just never happened. I've never had a romantic Valentine's Day encounter. Like, I've never been on a date or like had a romantic Valentine's where like me and someone else got together and did Valentine stuff. um, Never really had a real birthday celebration since I was about 5. I've had other like little get-togethers or whatever, but not an actual birthday party or birthday celebration since I was like 5 or 6 years old. The last birthday party that I can honestly remember having was a Masters of the Universe birthday party, and I think that was when I was like 5. So, long time, and gonna be 40 here in a couple of weeks. But so, anyways, I have been to Hawaii 3 times, all before the age of 13. Or, I'm sorry, before the age of 15. Uh, my sister was stationed in Pearl Harbor, and that's how I got to go. I have been on a cruise, and if you have been around on the channel for a while, you know that I went on an Alaskan cruise, and I would love to go on another one. Like maybe to Panama or back to Hawaii or somewhere. I just absolutely love the ship life. I have always wanted to go scuba diving, but haven't done so. The closest thing I've been to scuba diving is snorkeling, and I went snorkeling off of Waikiki Beach. I think that's the beach that we were on. Um, Anyways, my sister and I, we were like probably a good quarter of a mile off of the beach, just out there oohing and awing over like all the diversity of life in the reef. And here's how gullible of a freaking kid I was. She told me that they had a shark net around all the beaches to protect the tourists. And so, yeah, she lied to me. And while we were out there snorkeling, we kept hearing this really loud, kind of weird sound. It was a pod of gray whales migrating through, and when we came up and was looking around and everything, they had closed the beach because of the whales going through, and yeah, so it took us like a good 10 or 15 minutes to like get back up off the beach, because that's how far out we were. So that was fun. Um, I've always wanted to skydive, but I legitimately have this Looney Tune fear that I'm going to jump out of the plane, burst into flames, and hit the ground and leave a crater the size of Montana wherever I happen to fall. Will it happen like that? Probably not. But in my world, that's what's keeping me from doing it, is the fact that I'm going to jump out of the plane, catch on fire, and crash and leave a hole in the earth. Yeah. I love to paint, even though I don't think I'm very good at it. I've been told that I'm good at it, and as you can see in the back over here, that's just some of my marker art that I've done. But like, my whole living room is done up in paintings and drawings that I've done. Mostly geekery, like superheroes and stuff like that. Let's see, what's the next one? Photography is a passion of mine, even though I don't have a very good camera. And this is something that I've always wanted, is like a really good camera with interchangeable lenses, that I could do good nighttime photography with. Like, I want to take pictures of the moon or like stuff like that. And camera that I have right now is I have a little handheld, and I think that that's a Canon ELPH ELPH or something like that, and it's like a 12 or 4, 12 to 16 megapixel. I can't remember now. And then I have a larger DSL type of camera that is like very basic. I actually have it right here. It is a Fujifilm camera that I picked up at a thrift store for $1. Yeah, you heard me right, $1. This is a Fuji FinePix S. So, not the greatest camera. It's got a 26 magnification and it's 14 megapixels. But, for $1, I couldn't pass it up. And this is my little Canon. This one isn't the ELPH. This is the PowerShot A1400 HD. So, yeah. This whole thing, bag, and the 2 cameras inside of it, $3. So, it was just meant to be. Let's see. Uh, there is to date only a handful of animals that I fear. I'm usually pretty fearless when it comes to people and things like that, but I do have animal phobia. And it is the most unlikely of animals, coyotes. Fucking scared shitless of coyotes. And that's because when I was a little kid, one burst through the front door. We had like one of those like cheap, flimsy screen doors, and it busted through there trying to get at me. And this was like the middle of summer in the mid to late 80s. I was somewhere between 4 and 5 years old, playing by the front door. Yeah, scary. I used to have nightmares about it all the time afterwards. I have ultra vivid dreams to the point where I actually get depressed when I wake up because I mourn the people that I'm leaving behind in my dreams and that past life. And this is actually called Hirith. Yeah, I'll try to put the word somewhere in here, but it means a deep longing or sorrow or wanting to return to a home that never existed. um, One leg is longer than the other. Yeah, that's a fun one. Uh, I always kind of figured that it was because I walked kind of weird when I was in junior high school. I kind of like did this limp thing. Um, but yeah, my podiatrist said or pointed that out to me one time when I went in for a routine checkup and to have my feet worked on. Let's see. My natural voice is actually kind of deep. I just talk in a more high pitched, soft tone because it's become more comfortable for me to do so. Um, so if I was to talk in my natural voice, it would actually be kind of deep like this. And I don't know why I don't talk like this. I've just always talked like this on a higher pitch, softer scale, but actually, this is my voice right here. And this actually feels forced for me to talk like this. So ever since I was just a little kid, I've always talked in a higher pitch of voice. So my vocal cords feel relaxed. I don't feel like I'm straining or tensing up. But if I were to talk in my regular voice, this is how it would be. My vocal cords really aren't strained holding this pitch. It's kind of a neutral feeling, but I just talk like this. So there's one of my little secrets. Um, Friday the 13th is typically one of the luckiest days for me. Everyone else, like, oh no, 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 Friday the 13th is so horrible. For me, it's always been rather lucky. Like, some of the best stuff has happened to me on Friday the 13th. So I really can't throw shade at that day. And I typically find that the number 13 is like kind of lucky for me also. I have met and hung out with several celebrities more than once on more than one occasion. And some of the celebrities have hung out with Drew Barrymore and Michael McDonald from Mad TV. He played Stewart. Drew Barrymore and Michael McDonald. They used to go to a club in Palm Springs that I used to go to all the time, and we would hang out there and like just kind of, you know, they're everyday people. I would treat them like everyday people, and they really appreciated that. Everyone else was always running over. Oh my god, can I have an autograph? Ah! Like I wasn't like that. I was just like, hey guys, how you doing? Because Drew Barrymore actually has. Well, I don't know if she still has, but she had a house literally 3 blocks up from the club I used to go to there in Palm Springs, and so that's how I got to meet her. So that was kind of fun back in my clubbing days in this golden club. I used to work as a background verification specialist, so I know how to look up most details of a person's life. So as a verification specialist, what we did is whenever you put in an application for a job, they would outsource that to a third party company, and then a group of people would get your resume and all of your personal information, and then we would have to go through and verify that you actually did go to school, that you actually did obtain a college degree, that you actually did work at this place, that you actually did make this kind of money, what your criminal history was, what your just the whole list all the way down. We actually had to verify your social security number to make sure that your social security number and your ID information actually matched that which we had on file. And so I've kind of carried that information along with me throughout the years. And so now my friends come to me and they're like, hey, we need information on this person. This is their name, this is their age, and this is the town that they live in. And I'm like, okay, and like, is there anything else that you can give me about this person? Yeah, they have a sister named this. Okay, cool. So do a quick internet search, and I can find somebody and pull up their name, their address, all the telephone numbers that they've ever had, including cell phone numbers, all the lists of addresses that they've had within like the last 3 to 6 years, give or take, and all known aliases, all known relatives, and all email addresses that person has ever used. So yeah, and that's just doing a free search. But yeah. I'm very versed in most subjects, but was a CDF student because school literally bored me, and I was bullied not only by the students but by the teachers a lot of times. And so I fucking hated school. Loved college, hated school. Um, Depending on who I'm talking to, I typically go by 6 different names. And this is just something that's kind of happened over the years. People play around with my name all the time. So some people know me as Michael, some people know me as Mike, some people know me as Michael Scott. It kind of goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, depending on who I'm talking to. Um, I was in the special ed program until I was in the 10th grade when I kind of accidentally tested out of the program because I was proven a point teacher. They were being really just rude and disrespectful and talking about me like I wasn't right there. And um, I was just like, you know what, fuck it. And um, I did. I actually scored like a 95 on this particular aptitude test, where before I never got more than like a 30 or 40. And that was just because like I said, I was bored in school and I was constantly bullied. So being able to get out of class and go to these special resource programs got me away from those teachers who bullied me, got me away from those kids who bullied me, and put me into a safe environment where I could just relax and do my work at my own pace. Let's see. I started driving when I was 11 years old. A legitimately mentally insane lady taught me how to drive her truck before she was locked up in a mental health facility. So, yeah, great parenting on my biological mom's part. Uh, I prefer Marvel over DC, but I know a lot about I know a lot about the DC universe and the characters. Uh, My idea of the perfect date is going out to eat and then going to the movies. That is everything to me. I love going out to eat and I love going to the movies. And I don't give a damn if we go to just AM PM and get a gas station burger. The fact that we are out, we are sharing a meal, and then we go and watch a movie, that does it for me. I am a huge Star Wars fan and Harry Potter fan. I love both of the franchises. Um, I have a really hard time choosing between the two, so I just have to say that I'm equally a fanboy of both franchises. I love all types of music except for the Mexican mariachi music. I really hate that music. The only time that I can kind of stand it is like when I'm at a Mexican restaurant. Above and beyond that, I have no use for it. I've never been to a Major League Baseball game. I hate sports, but I love playing baseball, volleyball, and I love swimming, and I love to watch curling. I don't understand a damn thing about curling, but that is the one sport that I will sit there and watch and just like, woo, yeah. Um, all I know is you have this huge piece of granite that you shove across the ice, and then there's little brooms, little brooms, little brooms, and you're trying to get it into a circle. That's all I know. So, and I think you're trying to get as close to the center of the circle as you possibly can without, like, knocking any of your pieces outside of the circles. That's all I know about it. I freaking love it. Don't understand it. I used to write poetry and actually have won several awards for my writing. One of the awards was the Bonnie Congress Award, and I won the Seroptimus Award for best poetic speech. I wish I still had those speeches. I don't. So yeah. I sing to my pets. Each pet has a song, and here is the latest one that I sang to Bella.
Because she's my baby kitty, my baby, my baby kitty. She's my poopa Quixote, 'cause I love her so much. I do. Or little kisses, my baby.
So yeah, about that. Embarrassing as hell. I was detained by the federales 2 times in my life crossing the Mexican border. Well, one was crossing the Mexican border, one was being stopped at a border check. The last time that I was stopped on the way from Mexico to California, I was detained for 2 hours while the Mexican authorities called to the prison in Modesto, California to make sure that Scott Peterson, who was a convicted murderer of murdering his wife and unborn child, was in fact still in prison, because my name is Michael Scott Peterson. So me being the airheaded American white privileged kid coming across the Mexican border, all these lights and whistles and stuff started going off, and the federale grabbed his gun and was like, "Are you Scott Peterson?" And I'm like, not even thinking about it. I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, and then it dawned on me, my spirit said, "No, you dumbass." I was like, "Oh, no, I'm not that Scott Peterson." And he's like, "I need you to stay right there." And 3 or 4 other people got around me, and they actually closed off that lane and blocked off being able to go across to the American border. And it was scary. And I was like, don't you think that if I was a wanted criminal that I would not come through border check? And why would I be coming back into the country that I had escaped prison from? People usually go from California into Mexico and leave from Mexico to the other parts of the world. Why would I come through here? Why would I be trying to get back into the country? Why wouldn't I use a coyote or something like that? Coyote is a smuggler. They smuggle people across the borders or whatever. And it was just by happenstance that a teacher that I knew really well from my college was in the line next to me. And we kind of had a little bit of a falling out. I was part of the Associated Student Body, and they were our faculty advisor. So, we worked close with one another. And I turned and I saw him. I was like, "Help me. Tell them I am who I am." He's like, "I don't want to get involved. I don't want to get involved." I said, "You're going to get involved, or when I get back into America, I'm coming to your house." So he vouched for me, and about the same time that he ended up vouching for me, they had got a hold of the prison and verified that Scott Peterson actually was in his cell or whatever else, and they let me go, and I freaking ran like the Flash. I was just... As soon as I got onto American soil, I dropped to my knees and kissed the ground, and I have not been back to Mexico since. Yeah, so that was my heralding story. And finally, Hollywood will always hold a special place in my heart for all the grand adventures that I had there. When I was in college, every semester, me and my friends would combine our financial aid money and we would go to Hollywood and just have a night on the town. We I mean, this is after we paid for our classes and our books and all that other stuff. Uh, that's why we would pool our money. So like one person would put in like $100 or $200. I would put in $100 or $200. Another person, so we would be rolling through Hollywood with probably close to two, maybe $3 grand between all of us, and just go and hit up this little greasy, amazing place called Tommy's, and everything is covered in chili cheese or chili, and like you get burgers and it's a chili cheeseburger, and you get fries and it's chili cheese fries, and like just an amazing food. And then we would drive up and down Sunset Boulevard and go to all like the different little places, go walk around Man's Chinese Theater, go do the Star Walk, and then at the end of everything, we would go up to the Hollywood sign and just like hang out there and watch the stars and just talk about shit. And then as the sun was coming up, we would head out and go home and sleep for a day. So, yeah. So there's 30 things that you don't know about me. Some of them embarrassing, some of them kind of fun. Um, so yeah.